Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Let's start our video with a story about a particularly memorable encounter with a retail customer who expected discounts she didn't qualify for. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. When retail customers feel entitled to extra discounts for no reason, so you give it to them. I worked at a pretty popular department store for years, and I have to say that the customers this store breeds are the worst of the worst. The store's probably 90% of the reason that so many customers feel as entitled as they do. The cashier had the hiccups. It was incredibly annoying. "Isn't there anything you can do for me?" was an actual honest-to-God complaint one lady had for me when I was a supervisor. So anyway, I was covering a breakup at the registers. I was a supervisor at the time and had already given my 2 weeks' notice. I was beyond fed up. It was like spring of my senior year all over again. I had no more F's left. So I'm up at the registers, and this lady who couldn't have been more than 40 comes up with a huge cart full. Anyone who's worked retail, you know this woman. She's got the hair. She's smacking her gum at me while she talks on the phone. The entire transaction is delayed because I need her to pay, and she starts to ignore me because apparently I'm the rude one for interrupting her phone call. She proceeds to tell the person on the other end, "Give me a second," and finally turns to me and says, as if I'm an impatient child testing her last bit of patience, "Yes? Here's your total, ma'am. Do you have any coupons or rewards to use today?" She nodded, and here's when she drops a few clippings on the counter in front of me, ignoring my outstretched hand, and turns her attention back to her phone. As soon as I look at the coupons, I see that none of them are usable. She has one that's $10 off your menswear purchase of $50 or more. She has all women's clothing. The next coupon expired 2 months ago. Another one doesn't start for another week, etc., etc. So I try again to get her attention. She's just as lovely and accommodating as the last time. She rolls her eyes, tells the person on the phone that she will have to call them back, and gives me another sharp "yes." "Sorry, ma'am, this coupon is expired. This one hasn't started, and this one is only for when you purchase $50 worth of menswear. Do you have any other coupons or rewards?" She stares at me like I just called her mother some unsavory name. Excuse me? What? What could I do but shrug helplessly? "You've got to be kidding me. That's the entire reason I came out here today, to use those coupons. I really can't use them? Unbelievable. Some customer service here." All the while, she's packing her useless coupons back into her purse and glaring scorch marks into my soul. Remember I said I was done? My patience before Shopzilla here was already at 0. She tipped the scales. I was officially in the negatives. I had negative F's and negative patience left. So when she said, "You should be ashamed of yourself being so rude to a customer," something in me snapped. I smiled sweetly at her, mustered up a bright and cheery expression that I usually reserve as my waitress face, and said, "I'm sorry you feel that way, ma'am, but on the bright side, since it's Tuesday, I can still apply your senior's discount, so at least you aren't losing that one, right?" I can't quite describe her expression. I think she was angry, but I think she was more shocked. And in that state of shock, she sputtered out, I'm not a senior." I mimicked her shock, trying to appear horrified by my accidental faux pas, and then immediately said, "Let me take that off of there for you then," and promptly took the senior discount off, bumping her total up another $20. "I'm so sorry for the misunderstanding, ma'am." Oh boy, she was pissed. But like I said, I think she was more shocked. She seemed a little dumbfounded. She paid, she took her stuff, she left. I will take that petty moment of satisfaction at her horrified expression to my grave. It was even worth the write-up that I did end up getting after she called the store and gave my manager a piece of her mind. The sad, funny thing is, she can't even share the story of outrage with anybody without risking further humiliation. And our second story. Mother knows best. Yeah, okay. So I used to work at a fast food place in a mall where, based off how many items you choose for your meal, that's your total. All of our meats have at least one type of vegetable with them because the franchise wanted people to eat more of them, health, etc. So if you ask for chicken, we'd have to scoop you some veggies that's in there with it because it's our job to be fair to other customers, otherwise they'd be left with just veggies until the next batch was ready. Anyway, we have plenty of people that ask for no veggies with their meats, but we inform them we have to and tell them the reason why, and they're usually understanding. Usually. It's stupid, but my manager told us that if someone's having a beef fit, just let them have it their way because it's not worth the hassle. Okay. This lady comes up to me and I greet her as usual. She orders a meal and asks for chicken. I scoop the chicken with veggies into her box and she speaks up. Lady, oh sorry, I don't want any veggies with the chicken. Me, tell her the same spiel. Lady, haha, well it's for my child and he doesn't like them. Me, same spiel with an apology. Lady, she's getting visibly annoyed. He's allergic to these veggies. Who is this bee trying to fool? We take allergies very seriously because we don't do work with nut oils, and I know she was lying to get her way. Don't joke about allergies you don't have because you ruin it for people who actually do. There's a line forming behind her now, maybe about 2 people. They all heard her, and they looked annoyed too. Commence pettiness. Me, allergic? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Would you be interested in these options instead? The veggies are touching the chicken, and I don't want your child to get sick. Lady, she's surprised and stammers, oh, no, he, just can't eat the veggies? Touching's fine. Me, this bee. Are you sure? We take allergies very seriously here. Lady, looking around, kind of panicking, yep, I'm sure, I'm his mother. I take my sweet butt time picking out veggies from the scoops of chicken, and now there's 4 people behind her. She sees the line and sees me carefully taking out said veggies. Lady, well, a little bit of veggies is okay. Clearly trying to get out of there ASAP. Me, ma'am, don't worry about it. I'll make sure to take all the veggies out. Allergies are taken very seriously here. She has a mixture of panic from making the people behind her wait and annoyance because I'm taking my time. Maybe don't effing lie about crap like that. It was nice too because my coworker started helping the people behind her, so they were obviously trying to get around the lady blocking the front. Edit. Because I've noticed it's getting quite steamy, steam tables, haha, I'll show myself out. In the comments, it was a stir-fry place in the mall and the veggies were pre-mixed. A comment below gave the good example of beef and broccoli. Our chicken came with green peppers and each scoop has a certain ratio we're supposed to give. End of the employee totem pole, don't shoot. So when someone asks for no veggies but expects the same price, it's extra, but they often argue for it. We also had other trays with just meat and just veggies too, but probably not made with the sauce they wanted. Yes, the company policy is stupid. Yes, people can be allergic to vegetables or certain ones just don't quite sit well with them. Second edit. The trays with just meat were things like chicken balls and chicken wings. All other meats came with veggies automatically cooked with them. You should have told her that you could not serve the dish to her anymore because you'd been told about the allergy, and if something went wrong, you'd get sued. And our last story. HOA dude Steve is spying on us. When I was in college a couple years ago, my 3 friends and I decided to rent a townhouse to live in for the year. The HOA regulation of the area stated that there can only be up to 4 unrelated people living in the house. Cool. We have 4 people, so it's perfect. The guy who was living in it before us wouldn't move out when he was supposed to, so we had to go through the process to evict him. After sleeping on friends' couches for a month, he finally moved out. Obviously, we were super excited to move in, so we started moving our stuff in that day. We all were super busy with our school schedule, so most of the time when we were home, we were just doing homework. Some days, friends would come over to hang out, but we never threw a single party. We were never even loud after 10 p.m. A few months in, we get an email saying that we're going to be evicted because we have at least 6 people living in our house. We were confused because we only had 4 people living there the whole time we'd been there. We called the HOA and asked what they were talking about. They said the HOA representative, or whatever it's called, that lived in our townhomes had sent them overwhelming evidence that we had too many people living with us. We assured her that we only had 4 people living there and asked that she send us all the information that had been sent to her by our local HOA guy, Steve. She emailed us everything that Steve sent her that night. It was so bizarre. There were literally thousands of pictures of us coming and going into our house, all our cars and where they were parked, all of our friends coming and going, and every license plate that had ever been associated with our house. The thing that bothered me the most was that the pictures started the afternoon we moved in. It's not like we did something that he didn't like, so he started taking pictures to have evidence of some rule we were breaking. He literally had a picture of me the second I got out of my car the first time I went to the house. We were terrified. We were just four 20-year-old girls that had been having pictures taken of everything we did for months, and we had no idea. We called the police that night. They were also creeped out by the incredibly large number of pictures and information about every aspect of our lives. They took all of our information and then walked over to Steve's townhome. He answered the door and tried to play dumb. The cop showed him that they had all the information that he had sent to the lady who had emailed us. He basically said that he wouldn't take any more pictures of us. The police were glad we'd filed a police report so that they would have that on file in case he didn't stop. They couldn't really charge him with anything because technically when we stepped out of our front door, we were in public, so he was allowed to take pictures. About a week later, as I was leaving for school, I looked towards Stalker Steve's townhome and saw him leaning around the corner taking a picture of me. I ran down to confront him, but he ran into his house and wouldn't open the door when I knocked, like the coward that he is. I'm not sure if he ever stopped taking pictures or not. The week the HOA lady came and checked out our house 3 different times and said that she didn't see any signs that another person or two lived there. Once our year was up, we gladly found another place to live. That next year, Stalker Steve got kicked out of the HOA and also got kicked out of his townhome. I'm not sure what happened, but I'm guessing it was probably the same type of stuff, because we met some girls that had lived there the year prior, and they said he did similar things to them. What you experience with Stalker Steve is incredibly unsettling and a gross invasion of privacy, even if it fell into a legal gray area due to the public nature of the spaces outside your home. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.